Hi and welcome back. My name is Tatiana Gala from Vegan Raw Recipes. Today I'll be showing you how to make two types of bread. One is gluten-free and one is focaccia bread. And I'll be decorating on top Canada flag. For decorating the bread into Canada Day, you'll need only two ingredients. It's red bell pepper and feta cheese. Wow! Vegan feta cheese is very easy and simple to make, so you can see in the link below. I tried a few times to make focaccia bread and it was nice, it was soft, yummy, but it wasn't wow. And this time when I did again the tryout, I was amazing. My boys finished the whole thing and then they asked, Mommy, can you make next time double the size? Like, can you make it even bigger? It came out fluffy inside and crunchy from outside, and it was divine. Really, really tasty. And the same with the gluten-free. It was from inside, it was really, really soft and nice, and you cut it like a regular bread and it's not crumbling like the other ones. So this recipe is amazing, awesome. So let me show you and let's start. So the first recipe bread, I'll start with focaccia because I would like to let it rise and for maybe around like 20 to 30 minutes. And here we have feta cheese, yeast and cane sugar, salt, water, red bell peppers, and all-purpose flour. In a bowl of yeast and cane sugar, I'll be adding lukewarm water. And I'll just mix it and I'll let it sit just for a few minutes. I'm letting it sit to activate it. So I'll say maybe a few minutes, 5 minutes, even less. That's good enough. And I'll show you how it's bubbling and active. I'll be adding a few cups of all-purpose flour into one big bowl. Then I'll be adding salt on top. And now I'll just mix the dry ingredients, flour and salt together. Okay, now that I mixed, I'll be making a small crater here. And I'll be adding here wet ingredients. So as you can see, it's active, it's bubbling a little bit, and it just passed maybe 2 minutes. So I'll be adding it in the middle and just mixing it gently inside so it touches a little bit the flour. And you see now it's getting more and more firm. And now I'll add water, and I'll be adding slowly water and doing the same. And I'll be adding more water. And I'll be adding the rest of the water. And adding the flour slowly. I notice when I'm doing it step by step, I notice my dough is very soft and fluffy because I've been making bread for a long time. And yeah, and I also noticed how different it can be in texture inside and out. So you can dump the all ingredients and then mix, and I'm sure it still will come out very well. It just, for me, I notice when I'm doing step by step and a little bit slowly, it gives a very, very nice fluffy and delicate texture of the dough. And I'll show you now what I mean. So now as you can see, it's mixed but not completely. So what I'm gonna be doing, I'll be mixing it with my hands. I'll take the dough from the spoon, and I'll start kneading it until I have all the flour. Just play around with it, and believe me, it's so much fun, especially when you feel it, the texture of the dough. It's so soft and so fluffy, and I enjoy it. So I'll say you can play around maybe 5 to 10 minutes to make it very nice and smooth. I'll take the remains from my hands because they're sticky, and I'll continue to knead the dough. So I'll grab with my palm like this, and I'll squeeze inside. So from the palm here and back inside, from here and back inside. So I push it from out to in into the middle. And then you can continue and take the leftovers, the flour and everything else. And continue to do the same. You see, it's a little bit sticky, but don't worry. Don't worry, that's fine. Just continue. So what we're gonna be doing now, we're just gonna flip it around. So you see how soft. Flip it around, put it like this, cover it, and let it rise for around 20, 30, or even 40 minutes if you have the patience. So, and that's it. Then it'll double the size, and then we'll add just a little bit flour. We play again with the dough around maybe 2 minutes, and that's it. I cover it with plastic wrap, and now I'll be covering with cloth, and I'll put it aside. And now we'll be cutting red bell peppers. So I'll be dicing red bell pepper, and I'll make sure to dice it in very small pieces because it will be much easier to work with when decorating it into Canada flag. So this part I'll be keeping it, and I'm adding it in the bowl. I'll be trying to grow indoor some vegetables and some herbs. So you can check out my daily stories on my Instagram account. So I'm dicing all the red bell peppers that I bought. They're the small ones. I'm not sure how much I'm gonna need for my focaccia bread and the gluten-free bread to decorate the flag on top. So if you have big red bell peppers, I'll suggest to buy maybe 2 or 3. And it also depends on you how much you want to add. So as you can see, the dough is almost doubled its size, and now I'm just gonna add a little bit flour because it's sticky, and we'll just knead it for I'll say maybe 1 minute. And I waited around, I'll say 30 to 40 minutes. You can do it less if you want, but I think it's better to wait a little bit longer than 20 minutes. Look, so fluffy. I wish you could touch it. It's just amazing. The texture is so nice. Put on a clean surface, flour your surface, and you can start flattening it with your hands if you want. I'm gonna grab my roller now and get to work. Now, because this dough is not big, so I'll be making a small focaccia bread. You can double the size, double the recipe if you want. And you want to make sure you flatten it into a rectangular shape. Here I have 12 by 8 inches baking pan, and I just want to make sure it's the right size for the dough. And now I'll just be placing it inside. The next step is brushing oil on top, especially on the edges because I really like them crunchy. And I'm done with the oil. I'll be poking it a little bit so the bubble will not rise. And now I'm ready to decorate. I'll be adding inside. Depends on you if you want it thin or dense. And I'll just push inside so it get a little bit stick into the bread. And now on the sides, I'll make the line. You can do wide or narrow, again depends on you and how much bell peppers you diced. I'll be pushing it just a little bit just to make sure it'll stick. Okay, next, grab your feta cheese and decorate. Add as much as you want. I'm gonna suggest add a lot because it's salty and it goes so well with the bread. Ready to take out the cookie cutter. Gently top. Looks great, guys. For gluten-free bread, you'll need vegan milk, salt, baking powder, oat flour and arrowroot flour, brown rice flour, and psyllium husk powder. So we'll start with all the dry ingredients and we'll put it in one bowl. Mix all together well because sometimes there's like chunky pieces as you see. So you just want to make sure it's all mixed well and there's no more lumps. You can even use your whisker and mix well, it's even better. But a few times I made this bread, I didn't use the whisk, so it really depends on you. Just make sure you're mixing it well before you're adding milk. And let's add in the middle milk. Look how the texture will change very soon. Wow. Amazing. Now you're welcome to try and add some other spices if you want, like maybe garlic powder, onion powder, dry cilantro and parsley. And to be honest with you, I'll be definitely trying it out next time and making a little bit different, a different aroma and flavor. And I'll be adding it inside. Now that it's inside, the only thing I'm gonna have to do is flatten the bread with my hands. You don't have to use your hands if you don't want to, but I notice when I'm using my hands, the shape looks better. Just make sure you're putting the same quantity, beginning, middle, the end, and then you don't have to push it back and forth because it got absorbed so well. So it's hard a little bit to play with it, like you can play with gluten flour. Wow, really looks good. So now we're gonna start decorating it, and if you have Canada leaf cookie shape, so use it for this bread. But if you don't have, don't worry, just print the leaf, cut it, and then when you put it on the bread, trace it around with the sharp knife. Fill it up as much as you want. You can make it dense or thin. I'll be pushing it down a little bit so it can hold its shape and get into the bread a little bit. So on the side, again, you can choose the size if you want thin or thick. And I'll be doing like this. And the same on the other side. And now just push it down. Pressing it and pushing with your finger. If you have spots, just add tiny pieces. And the last part is to grab your feta cheese and crumble it and add around. So feta cheese, I'm not gonna be pressing it down. And now I'm ready to take out the cookie cutter, gently, gently, and out. So wherever pieces you see that are a little bit out, you can fix it, but otherwise it looks perfect. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments below. And happy Canada Day. Till next time.